Number 209 from the Masters of Cinema series is Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, Jimmy Dean. This is a Robert Altman movie. It's one that just never really appealed to me. It never jumped out at me, and this has happened quite a few times with the Masters of Cinema series. It was a story that I didn't even look into. I just don't know why. I just had this aversion to it. Altman stuff can sometimes be highly entertaining. Sometimes I find it not so much so. Come Back to the Five and Dime is a kind of adaptation of a play. It's set within this diner. It's set within a group of people, and it kind of jumps between two time spans, one in 1955 and one in 1975. And it's the disciples of Jimmy Dean, a fan club for the actor Jimmy Dean. And we kind of have these wonderful moments where we're introduced to characters, and this roving camera lets us see just the intricacies of each person and their life, and then it can somehow just flash back to 1955 with a paralleling kind of storyline, again reintroducing the characters and showing where they were 20 years prior.
Juanita, goddamn, you ain't changed a day in 20 years, girl.
Stella May, you old shit girl.
And throughout the course of the movie, you get to meet a wonderful array of characters. You get to grow into their stories and how after 20 years things have changed for some dramatically, not changed for others, and some people are still hiding behind those lies that they lived 20 years prior. And I think it's exceptionally well done, because it's one of those movies where I wasn't on board with it. I found it a little bit of a struggle initially getting into the film. For maybe the first 20-25 minutes of this 1 hour 49-minute movie, I really struggled to see where it was going or what it was trying to do. But as we slowly discover these women and the sort of the traumas that have held them back or become anew in their life, how people have adapted to things, how people have fled and changed dramatically throughout it, all comes to the surface as we kind of watch these characters reconnect and almost implode in certain areas.
Dizzy, I'm so sorry.
I don't want your sympathy, moment.
Whereas before they were content, they had a lot to look forward to, things were different and they could look ahead, but things have changed dramatically since then. And it's not all rosy for all the characters. Things haven't turned out great for everybody. And because it's got that drama within it, built into it, by the time it really starts to peel back the layers, you're already on board with a lot of the characters. You've heard these tales, you maybe hear them a couple of times. They become old family favourites almost, a kind of tale that you're happy to hear again. But with each reiteration of that tale, some of the facts change, some of the truth ekes out. And when characters pop into the movie, particularly Karen Black at one point, it really kind of amps up the dramatic impetus of the movie and makes some of the facts a little bit more interesting as some things are brought to the forefront, which I'm trying to keep a little bit under wraps at the moment, because I feel as if you really need to go on this journey with these women and discover what makes them tick, how they worked as a cohesive unit, and how things may never be the same after this. You've got wonderful performances from everybody across the board. You've got Sandy Dennis in the main role. You've got Cher, who's wonderful as well. You've got a younger Kathy Bates, who's just, well, awesome as always. And like I said, Karen Black, who I thought was really terrific in what must have been a really kind of tough emotional role to bring across, because it's quite a change for that character who's coming back into the film. Now, I almost resisted this movie, and putting it on, I found myself reaffirming my own thoughts within the first 20 minutes. Starting to tune out a little bit before being drawn into this wonderful drama where I got to see all these characters laid bare for us to see, whether that's good or bad, up to the individual. And it leaves in a kind of sour note, I'd say, with the promise of going back to the diner 20 years from then and seeing how their lives have turned out. But of course it kind of finishes up the credits on a derelict, rundown diner that's seemingly abandoned. Take from that what you will. I was quite enamoured by Come Back to the Five and Dime. The tale, the idea of those women come together for a communal love was really fascinating, and to see all that kind of torn asunder 20 years later was really quite impactful. I think Altman does some wonderful directing touches, considering it's based within the one place, by using the windows of the diner as a transition almost to the past, a reflection of things that kind of parallel current activities, which I guess you kind of need to see to understand that. But again, Masters of Cinema, a movie that I really enjoyed, that I didn't think I would like. It's not my usual kind of movie that I sit down and enjoy, but wow, I had a lot of fun with this one. I'd love to know your thoughts on the movie, so let me know in the comment box if it's something you've seen or if it's something you may be interested in. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. And if you want to click the heart button, it of course means you're part of the disciples of Jimmy Dean. And if you want to see more content, you can join me on Patreon or the membership program. That would be fantastic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.